Now on the news at 10, if you're looking for a psychiatrist in Idaho, get in line. The state's currently dealing with a major shortage. Plus, progress is being made on the Valley Fire tonight, and evacuation orders have been reduced. And tonight's Sevens Hero honors the life of Police Canine Riddick, who died in a crash during a high-speed chase. The news at 10 starts right now. More than 20% of people in the United States see mental health professionals regularly. That's according to the CDC. As Idaho continues to grow, the need in the state continues to grow, and seeing a mental health professional might be harder than you think. Abby Will, you found out why and how Idaho compares to the rest of the U.S.
Hunter, yeah, when it comes to the number of mental health professionals per capita, including psychiatrists and psychologists, Idaho ranks near the bottom. Mental health professionals themselves say they're struggling and wanting to help their communities, but they just don't have the capacity to.
I have people knocking on the door, wanting to come in, and there was a waiting list.
It's a long wait for mental health professionals.
I'm just about all filled up.
And people seeking help are frustrated.
I know I was on the wait list for 14 offices, and no one ever called me back. And I was on that wait list for almost a year.
This is the reality for some Idahoans. If you want to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist and you can't get in, it's because there's a shortage.
That we have roughly a little over 100 psychiatrists in the state, and our estimated need is probably somewhere around 250.
Idaho ranks the lowest in the country per capita for psychiatrists, which are mental health medical doctors. There's one psychiatrist per 16,294 residents. The next lowest state, Montana, has 11,576 residents per one psychiatrist. That's all according to the U.S. Census Bureau.
It's been a challenge over the past several years.
For psychologists, which are mental health therapists, Idaho is also low. There are fewer than 15 psychologists per 100,000 people. Only 6 other states rank that low, according to the American Psychological Association.
It's pretty hard sometimes to attract them to the field, but we're doing our very best.
It's a problem Dr. Charles Rice has experienced firsthand. He moved to Boise 35 years ago as a licensed psychologist and started Living Hope Clinic.
PSY 206, so that meant there were 205 other psychologists here.
Over Rice's decades of work, he's watched Idaho grow.
The population just keeps coming up and up and up.
Yeah. And while he's seen mental health professionals come in, it's still not enough.
Now there are 7,000, but it's still not keeping up with the population growth.
Rice's waiting list was packed.
In order to handle the overflow, I've had to hire others to help me.
So he found a quick solution, hiring a new doctor and 3 doctoral level students to come in and start therapy sessions.
You can have 3 extended providers for licensed psychologists in Idaho, in the state of Idaho, which is kind of nice.
It helped, but the waiting list is almost fully booked up again. Rice isn't alone.
Now she's getting up to 20 people already in a month, so, and I'm just about all filled up, and Dr. Press, who's right across the hall here, he's filled up. So I don't know what we're going to do.
The Department of Health and Welfare says it's a nationwide problem.
We probably are short by about 15,000 psychiatrists. We had a lot of behavioral health professionals leave the field during the COVID.
But that shouldn't deter you from seeking help.
We definitely want people to still seek those services. Sometimes they have to wait a little bit before they can get into them.
Rice agrees that help is worth the wait.
Are here to help people who still suffer. Our goal is to reduce human suffering. And life is kind of tough. And that's why they come here. We help them deal with them better.
And if you are in crisis, you can call, text, or chat with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988, or contact the crisis text line by texting TALK to 741-741. We'll have that number for you on our website at ktvb.com.
An important story there. Thank you, Abby. Another big headline has been the weather. Smoke in the air, Sophia. Is it clearing up a bit, or what are we looking at?
So widespread, we won't see high concentrations of smoke, but we will see some areas see the concentrations a little on the higher side. So over towards the West Central Mountains, that's one of the places where the morning view will look like this tomorrow. And that's because we still have the fires burning in the overnight hours. A lot of that smoke gets trapped closer to the surface because we don't have a lot of mixing in the atmosphere without the heat in the overnight hours. But you can see during the daytime, those fires become a little bit more active, and you can see more of that smoke on the horizon. We get more mixing, and that's why you see more blue in the sky in the afternoon hours. So this will continue over the next few days and really until the fires are completely out. But you can see these warm temperatures that we've had today also will not aid the firefighters' efforts. That will fuel more of the fire activity. You can see we got up to 80 degrees over in Twin Falls today. Very warm for this time of year, and we will continue to be on the warm side for October. You can see as we look for Boise, close to record warmth. We will see a little bit of that smoke linger in some of the mountain spots, especially in the morning hours. And then Twin Falls, we are tracking some record-tying warmth as well. And the warmth will continue, and so will the ample sunshine. I'll have your full forecast coming up in a couple minutes.
Now talking about those fires, firefighters are making progress on the Valley Fire burning in the Boise foothills. The Bureau of Land Management says the fires burned more than 9,400 acres and is now 33% contained. The agency doesn't know when it will have the fire under control, but they say no structures have been lost and no injuries have been reported. BLM says the east side of the fire is especially challenging because of the dense timber and steep terrain. Another challenge officials faced came after a drone was spotted flying over the fire. It forced firefighters to stop aerial operations, not to mention it's illegal and extremely dangerous. The Valley County Sheriff's Office has adjusted the evacuation orders for the Valley Fire. The Roby Creek area was reduced to level 1 be ready status, and Wilderness Ranch area was removed from the evacuation readiness list. Meanwhile, the Red Rock and Black Eagle fires burning in Custer County have merged. They are now known as just the Red Rock Fire. The now combined fires have burned more than 52,000 acres and are 5% contained. The Lemhi County Sheriff's Office is enforcing several evacuations because of this fire. The areas in the red are in go status, which means evacuate immediately. People living in the area highlighted in green are in level 1 ready status. Emergency management is also asking to stay out of the area and says multiple roads and bridges have been destroyed or are impassable. Meanwhile, the Logan fire burning near Yellow Pine in Valley County grew overnight. The Forest Service says it grew by about 300 acres and has burned about 9,700 acres in total. Residents of the Edwardsburg neighborhood in Valley County are under a level 3 go evacuation order. The U.S. Forest Service says flames burned through the neighborhood and continue to burn up Smith Creek. Fire crews say one structure was burned and the Big Creek airstrip is closed. The Forest Service is also expanding road closures in the area because of the fire. A man is in the hospital after a mountain bike crash yesterday. The Boise Fire Department says the man crashed on Corral Trail near Bob's Trail in the Boise foothills. His injuries were so extensive the crews had to use a helicopter to get him out rather than an ATV. No word yet on his condition. The family and friends of Cesar Sandoval gathered to celebrate and remember him tonight. It's now been 1 year since he died, and a celebration of life was held in his honor in Wilder. Sandoval died several days after he was found unresponsive at a Caldwell intersection. Law enforcement say they still don't know what happened. His family shared stories about what made him so special.
Cesar was also the life of any party. He had his way of making everyone feel like they were right where they were supposed to be. He never wanted the good times to end and was known for his saying, "I'm not going to beg you to have fun."
The Canyon County Sheriff's Office is still investigating this case. If you know anything regarding his death, the Sheriff's Office asks that you contact them as soon as possible. Still to come, tonight's Sevens Hero honors the life of police canine Riddick, who died in a crash during a high-speed chase.